Y'all, they're doing it again. The censorship is real. We are back at it again with the chicanery going on online. I know I just uploaded a video talking about censorship, but literally like in the midst of editing that video, we started getting more and more news of more baloney just occurring. And at this point, I feel like most YouTubers have made videos on this topic, but I'm gonna throw my hat into the ring anyways because it is pure hogwash. So recently, the UK introduced what is known as the Online Safety Act. Wow, that sounds so nice. What is it, Zarina? I'll tell you what it is. As of 25 July 2025, all sites and apps that allow pornography will need to have strong age checks in place to make sure children can't access that or other harmful content. So what kind of age checks are they asking for? Are they just gonna ask you, are you 18 or older? Yes or no? I fear that is not the case, my friends. I fear they want to get your information. They want to get your ID. They want you to actually, dead ass, submit your ID.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with them, bro? Like, literally, internet safety 101. This is what we were all taught growing up. Number one rule of the internet. Not rule 34, not rule 69. Rule number one, never give your personal information out online. No ifs, ands, or buts. You should not be uploading your ID online. That's extremely dangerous. That's extremely stupid. And now it's mandatory? It's mandatory, and the thing is, the UK is not the only one who's doing this. There are multiple countries following suit. Australia is doing it. Practically like the whole of the EU at this point is doing this. And the UK literally does not give a hoot at all. There was a petition with like more than 300,000 signatures saying like, hey, can we like not do this? And they just ignored it straight up. They said, I don't give a shit. You are going to give your ID to us so you can goon. Hand it over. Hand it over. Bro, why can't the people of the UK just goon in peace? This is such an infringement of gooner rights. It's so fucked up. Why are they doing this? But in all seriousness though, I do think it's messed up. Because as I was talking about in my previous video, corn is just a slippery slope. You know, they just want to say, oh, this is just to protect the children from corn, you know? This is just to protect the children, because literally the point of this whole act is because, oh, children are accessing these sites. It's so messed up. I gotta be real with y'all. Can I just be 100% real? I don't give a fuck up! I literally don't. You know why? Because it's the parents' job. I do think it's messed up. I do think there are multiple conversations to be had about like the effects that looking at corn will have on young, underdeveloped minds. Like, yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. And then their solution is to do like the absolute objective dumbest shit. Because they're boomers who, one, don't understand how the internet works, and two, parents never take fucking accountability. Why is it my problem? I'm not his dad. I'm not his mom. Go tell his parents. You know, honestly, what we need to do here is make it a crime for the parents to not parent their kids right. They need to be taking Internet Safety 101 classes. Everyone needs to be taking them, in my opinion. I really think these parents need to be sitting down with their kids and telling their fucking children, don't do this, monitor what they're doing online. I don't care if the kid knows how to get around it. Figure it out, bro. It ain't my problem. I don't see why we, the adults, have to suffer at the hands of the stupid little fucking kids. I feel for the kids and I care for their safety, but they shouldn't be online in the first place. You know, I'm gonna get into that later. I'm gonna talk about how the culture has changed. But anyways, you might be thinking, in the USA, you know, most of my viewers are in the US. You might be thinking, oh, that sucks for them. LMAO, L, stupid UK. Or is it gonna be this way because it's flipped? I don't know. Loser, you guys have to give your IDs to Goon. No, not the case, my friend. We are also cooked. You know why? KOSA. What is KOSA? What the fuck is KOSA? The Kids Online Safety and Privacy Act KOSA, sorry, it's KOSPA, not KOSA. Known in the House and the general public commonly as the Kids Online Safety Act, KOSA, never mind, I was right, is a proposed legislation first introduced in Congress in 2022. It aims to establish guidelines to protect minors from harmful material on social media platforms through a duty of care system and requiring covered platforms to disable addicting design features to minors. If signed into law, internet service platforms would be required to include features that would protect minors in their data, ensure the ability to opt out of algorithmic recommendations, let minors delete their account and any associated data, restrict communications from non-minors, and disable addictive product features such as autoplay for videos or platform rewards. It would also require internet service platforms to default to the highest possible privacy settings for accounts that belong to minors. Hey, that's not so bad. That's actually not bad at all. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really have an issue with that. Unless you just gotta think about it. You gotta think about it for more than 2 seconds, my friend. You gotta think about the fact that this is actually kind of vague. What do they mean by harmful content? Because the way things are going in this country and around the world, you know, we have the pendulum swinging, and right now the pendulum is on the right side. You're gonna have reactionaries, you're gonna have hardcore Christian groups dictating that, like, I don't know, LGBT content is inherently harmful or something. It could be anything. It could literally be anything that they disagree with that's considered as harmful. Because while I agree there are some, like, restrictions that should occur, it's not really specific enough. It's dead ass extremely vague on purpose. That's why a lot of, like, free speech groups came out against this bill, saying exactly what I'm saying here. Like, this is too vague. This is a slippery slope. As of right now, I don't really see what they would be restricting specifically, besides, like, actual adult content. Like, I do think corn should be withheld from children. Let's be honest here, it should be. I'm not gonna disagree with that. I'm not gonna sit here and defend it, but it's a little vague. But okay, regardless of if you agree with me on that point or not, and you think, I'm not a minor, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit, why would that matter? I'm not a minor, so why would I care? It's not like we have to give them our IDs, like... Flippin' flotsam, what's that? The Screen Act, a bill to require certain interactive computer services to adopt and operate technology verification measures to ensure that users of the platform are not minors and for other purposes. Yep, we're on the chopping block too, fellas. It's happening everywhere. It's unavoidable at this point. Actually, you might already know about it. In fact, it's definitely happened by the time I've uploaded this, because I'm recording this on July 12th. Not July 12th, it's August 12th. YouTube is going to ask users for their IDs, and they are going to do this based on whether their AI detects you to be a minor. So it doesn't matter what you tell them. If you've ever watched, I don't know, anything that had comments disabled because it was for kids, they're probably gonna end up thinking you're a minor, unfortunately. In my case, they're definitely gonna think I'm a minor because I have looked up so many SpongeBob clips and, like, music, all this kind of shit to put in my videos. I've looked up so many memes. They're definitely gonna think I'm a minor. It sucks. And the thing is, their system for, like, YouTube Kids anyway is so shit. Like, I've come across clips that are literally for adults, but they would be marked as for kids. So it doesn't matter. They're gonna think that we're all children. And even if they don't think you're a child, I'm pretty sure they're gonna ask for your ID anyways, because let's be honest here, it's not about the kids. It was never about the kids. If they really cared about the kids, wouldn't they release the Epstein files? Just saying. This is all so performative. They're doing everything but telling the parents to actually parent their fucking kids. Like, bro, why am I in it? I don't have a kid. This has nothing to do with me, bro. I am literally anti. I am unk. I don't need to be giving you my ID. I refuse to give you my ID just to use YouTube normally. That is such baloney. That is just a load of absolute hogwash. Like, nobody should be doing this, okay? You should not be giving your ID or even your biometric data because it's asking for selfies. It's like, oh, if you don't want to give your data, if you don't want to give your ID, you can give your facial scans. Why would I do that, bro? Are you gonna delete my data as soon as you get it? Because look at the T app. Y'all remember that? If you even heard of that? If you don't know the T app, it was basically an app that was like only for women, right? And you would get into the app by giving a selfie, and then apparently you would give your driver's license, and everything got leaked. And I will say it's the T app's fault for apparently having like the worst security of all time. Literally a Cheeto was holding that shit together. But all their data got leaked and people were doing some pretty nasty shit with their stuff. They were like, you know, your chopped selfies were being put on blast. And your driver's licenses were being leaked. I actually signed up for the T app out of curiosity, by the way, like a day before the breach happened. I looked so chopped in my selfie. I was just nosy. I was just curious, bro. I wasn't even gonna say anything. I just heard about it and I was like, that's crazy. Like, what are they saying on there? Let me sign up. And then everything got leaked. That is nasty work. But anyways, all I'm saying is you should never be giving your driver's licenses because all those women got their driver's licenses posted and leaked. And if someone has your driver's license, they can easily commit identity fraud. They can do so much fraud off of your ID alone. These boomers are so fucking stupid. It pisses me off. Like, why are we always constantly, why are they always in power? Why are they still in power? Can like the 20 years for them to just die happen already? Get the fuck out of power. This is so irritating. Like, y'all don't know anything about the internet. Y'all don't know the first thing about internet safety. And we know damn well these websites are not going to be protecting our data. They don't care. Why would they care? They're already selling our data all the time. And now they're asking for our IDs. Like, I'm not giving you my ID, bro. It's not happening. I am not giving that shit. I will literally go into ChatGPT and make a fake ID. Alright, but you didn't hear it from me. Didn't hear it from me. Alright, you should not be giving them your IDs. Like, I gotta be real, like, you're dumb as hell if you're doing that. There are ways to circumvent it. There's plenty of ways to circumvent it, actually. People have been posting TikToks, they're like using like Gary's mod to get around it. Just go do that. I promise you, there are workarounds. Their AI is stupid. It's just gonna be looking at like the wrinkles and like the date on your ID. Use Mr. Krabs' ID. Straight up. Here. But you didn't hear it from me.
Glasses on, told him pick a pill, shit is red or blue. I told all the ops to eat shit and get cancer too. Bobby got that cell phone stick, you better answer, dude. My wife got a body on that bitch.
I'm not encouraging anything, okay? I'm not encouraging fraud, nothing like that, okay? And then this whole narrative about it being used to protect kids. If that was the case, why is like Spotify asking for IDs now? Spotify! Why does Spotify need my shit? Who's getting groomed on Spotify? Seriously. Why? Like, are we now just gonna withhold it because like what? Oh, there's inappropriate words in the songs. Like, bro, that's crazy. Have the parents parent their children, please. This is so stupid. Like, I shouldn't even have to explain like why. It's just dumb as hell that Spotify would want your ID. That's so goofy. I pay for Spotify for one thing. If they ask me for my ID, that's gonna piss me off so much. Like, I might actually drop Spotify. It's gonna be really hard. I might not. I'm probably lying. They're just trying to get rid of all our anonymity. Anonymity. How the fuck do you pronounce that? Anonymity. Wait. Anonymity. It's such a weird word.
Anonymity.
They just want to make sure you're not anonymous ever anymore. I think they're scared. Let's just be real. Let's get to the nitty gritty of it, okay? They're scared. They're scared because propaganda doesn't work as easily anymore. There's more populist messaging online. They cannot control the narrative as easily because of social media. And they finally are wising up to it and they're finally like, oh my god, we have to do something about this. And this is why all of a sudden, all these countries at once have come out in an attempt to pass these laws. It has nothing to do with child safety. Because if they really cared, for one thing, the Epstein files would be released. Maybe they would actually teach parents how to parent. Maybe there should be penalties for these parents, in my humble opinion. But you know, we gotta control the narrative. We gotta make these full-grown adults with dicks and balls give us their information so that they can goon. All in the name of child safety. I'll tell you right now, it ain't that. I don't care if I sound like a conspiracy theorist. I'm correct. I am objectively right. Okay? Like, you know, this is just for censorship. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, man. And they don't care about your data either. There's gonna be a data breach within like the first 3 months of this shit happening. Mark my words. All of our data, all your IDs that you upload, they're gonna be on the dark web and people are gonna be using them to like commit credit card fraud. I don't know. There's so much that people can do with your IDs. Even your biometric facial scans and whatever, they can even do stuff with that. I don't know the full extent of what people can do, but I would say it's in your best interest to not let anyone have that in the first place. I think you could just Photoshop an ID or something. Change the general information. Maybe change the picture on your ID. Just do not let them get your actual identification card that you use in your day-to-day life. They don't need that. These boomers are so out of touch, they probably didn't even know like you could bypass it that easily, bro. You can never relent. My fellow Gooners, you can never let them win. You must fight, my soldiers, my soldiers, Kareem! Never let them win. You must never let them win. Do not let them take our gooning rights. This is the one thing I will fight for until I'm dead. My right to goon. My right to goon. Your right to goon. All of our rights to goon. And they're trying to take it away. They're trying to fucking take it away. I won't let them. Alright? I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. Okay? Anyways, my rant about the culture. Almost forgot. Can I just say how annoying it is that everything is about the children now? Okay, that sounds kind of fucked up. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Back then, I remember the culture online was completely different. You know, I was raised online, I fear. I was online at a very early age, on YouTube, all that jazz, right? And I remember you would get bullied so hard if people found out you were a kid. As soon as you were like, I'm 11, hi guys, everyone would be on your ass making fun of you. I remember someone making fun of me. I was playing Little Big Planet and I told them I was 9 and they were like, fucking baby, loser. And I almost cried in real life. Shit was rough out there, bruh. You could not say your age. You had to pretend to be 18. Like, you had to mature if you posted. And the thing is, me, I understood I was just a lurker. All right, I never posted. I never talked to anyone because I knew the internet was crazy as hell. This was not a place for a child like me. I knew that what I was looking at was risky. I knew that everything around me was kind of fucked up. The internet was the Wild West. But I feel like there was a collective understanding of that. For the most part, kids understood that, and we still explored these messed up places, but we knew it was messed up. I did have nightmares off of shit I've seen off the internet, but I am not gonna blame the internet for that, if I'm being honest. I blame myself for that. Like, why did I go on that site? Why did I watch that video when I knew it was gonna be fucked up? Kids are stupid and kids will morbidly look into these sites. However, I don't like blaming the internet for that. I don't know, maybe I internally groomed myself or something. All I know is, as a kid, I knew that it was an adult's place. And now all the kids almost feel entitled to make it their sanctuary, if that makes sense. Which is, I think there should be spaces for children online, and there used to be spaces for children online. Like Club Penguin and all like the Flash games, all that stuff, that doesn't exist anymore. So maybe instead of taking these sites that are for adults, social media should not be for children. Social media, to me, is 100% an adult's endeavor. Instead of getting rid of all the child sites and like, oh, we're gonna make Reddit have age verification. Why isn't like a 12-year-old Timmy on Reddit anyways? He shouldn't be on Reddit. He should be on like Club Penguin. But then they got rid of all these sites, so maybe we should actually make spaces for the kids to hang out in so there can be like proper segregation or something. Because I know my ass was playing those Flash games. Pixie Hollow, bro? Any fellow Pixie Hollow girls? Anyways, I'm just saying, the culture is so different now. And instead of penalizing like all the adults and forcing all the adults to give up their personal identities, their personal information, which is the entire antithesis of like the beauty of the internet in the first place. Part of the beautiful thing about the internet is like you're anonymous. You can say whatever you want. And now your ID is gonna be tied to what you watch and what you say. Like, yeah, in the UK, you can get arrested for social media posts. This is just gonna ramp it up even further. It's gonna be, oh, you have the wrong thoughts. Oh, you said the wrong thing, to the gulag with you. That's not how it should be. That is a little draconian, whether you like it or not. It's a stupid ass law. And like, they refuse to change it because these boomers are so out of touch. And truthfully, they want you to be monitored. They want this to happen. They're not gonna budge on it. What can you do, really? Bypass the system. Low-key fuck them. Use the Sims. Use AI. Do anything you can to work around it. Alright? I'm not encouraging anything, actually. I mean, in Minecraft. Do that shit in Minecraft, okay? All I'm saying is, you should never give your data up. You really should not. You will see random purchases made if there's a data breach and someone gets a hold of your ID. Like, you will see fraud being committed in your name. It's happened to people. It happened to my dad recently, but I'm not gonna get into that. Anyways, my point being, in conclusion, it's a load of baloney. And that's all I gotta say. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it. And I will see you on the flip side. Peace!
Bye-bye.